everyone? We are back here in Mount Manitoba. It's the home base of NotHallOfFame.com and, of course, the sister sites, the Fictitious Athlete Hall of Fame, the Fictitious Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and the United States Athletic Hall of Fame. Vote now.
Every time you start with that, Kirk, and I have to interrupt you just for a minute, I need you to start saying, look up, look way up.
I don't get
What
that.
does the Friendly Giant have to do with this?
Well, it's the Mount Manitoba. It's the height thing.
Get your head out of my ass, Rusty. All right, this will be only funny for a bunch of Canadians who are our age. Beyond that,
Yeah, you got to be over 30, maybe even getting close to 40 to get this reference. So enjoy for those of you middle-aged Canadians out there.
Also a great name for a punk band. But
Friendly Giant or middle-aged Canadians?
Both of them. But Brad derailed me again, as I was going to also promote that after you've listened to this, you're going to go to www.nothalloffame.com/USA, where you're going to vote on the United States Athletic Hall of Fame. Vote now, and you can vote every day, actually, because it just resets itself. But, before we sort of move on, I've got a question for my co-hosts, Andrea Tessmann and Brad Nelson. Oh. Have you heard?
I have heard.
Everybody knows that the bird is the word.
Papa ooh mow mow, 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 papa ooh mow mow.
Oh, Winnie, you're a great dancer.
She is a great dancer. Usually, though, whenever she's dancing, that means she's going to go poop. But that's another story for another time. We're not talking
about mow mow, papa poop mow mow, papa poop poop mow mow.
And then she puts her poop in her mouth, mouth.
Oh, no. This is not a German podcast.
Actually, based on the last two names of two of us, it kind of is.
All three of us are German.
Nelson?
Half on my mom's side, Reimer.
Yeah. Right,
well, there we go. I just gave away all my password information.
There you go. So between us, we sometimes wear half the time socks and sandals, but that's not what we're here to talk about.
Crocs and socks, baby. That's the way to her heart.
Is it?
No Crocs, Birkenstocks and socks, and that's like.
That's also a great name of a punk band. Birkenstocks and socks. This is almost proto-punk in a way. The Trashmen, who I'm going to do a callback. The first song that Andrea and I ever looked at was a mashup. Stars on 45, which essentially was just basically Beatles covers by a Beatlesque singer.
Listen. With Venus thrown in there just for some odd reason. But this is a mashup of two songs by the Rivingtons. So we have to look at that first. The Rivingtons, a Los Angeles band, who had two hits essentially. What were those hits, Brad? I know you know them because we were talking about that.
Yeah, we were talking about the controversy and all that fun stuff. The one big hit was the Papa Mau Mau, and the other one, of course, was the Bird. Oh, and they were also in. It's in the notes. They were in another one, a little bit of Pretty One.
Right, but they're mostly known for these two songs. I don't know if they're necessarily, lyrically they're not decent, but they don't have to be. They're appropriate.
They were surf rock.
They're also the same song.
All you're going for with surf rock is that Hawaii 5-0 drum beat.
The Rivingtons weren't surf rock.
No, they were R&B or soul.
They were bebop.
Right. So, and they even sort of acknowledged that lyrically it was nonsense. I think the first spoken words after Papa Ooh Mau Mau is how this song is. Oh, it's just nonsense words. Doesn't matter. It's catchy. Everything. Hey Jude's a brilliant song, but most people remember na 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 na.
It is the song with the most nas in it ever.
I wonder if Sha Na Na ever covered that. Sha Na Na. Incidentally, my favorite was Lenny because he could play the sax. Also,
I like the deep voice guy because he would sing from his testicles.
You mean the Bowser?
Bowser. Oh yeah, he got right in down there. I mean, you could like we were watching on a little shitty 15-inch TV that was barely color, and you could still hear the bass reverberate through that damn thing.
Andrew should keep score. Which one of us goes off track most?
Well, we're not too off track with Sean.
We're not really off track. We're just taking a slight like bypass.
It's the fucking scenic route, okay?
We're still en route to remerge with the main line.
Well,
we stopped off. We checked out a farmer's market. No, we stopped off, checked out a farmer's market along the way.
But Shanana's not actually that far off. They would probably covered all of these.
Oh yeah.
So the Rivingtons, they have these two hits, and I believe 62. Now the Trashmen, who do this particular song, they were playing in LA, but they're actually based in Minnesota, in Minneapolis.
So they weren't playing in LA. They took a vacation to LA,
okay,
which is where they got a feel for the surf rock idea and brought it back to Minnesota, eh?
Mm-hmm. To give them sort of credit for it, I was sort of thinking that this is going to be one of those trends where you're going to have basically, and you saw this all with Elvis and more Pat Boone, who whitewashed so many great Black artist songs of the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
I will say about what they did by mashing these two songs together, they did create something somewhat unique, and it's pretty goddamn good for what it is.
It is plagiarism at its least harmful, perhaps.
I think it's. I mean, they got sued and they had to literally give up all writing credit. Like they don't have any writing credit for this song because they literally it's straight up just a mashup cover.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was trying to find out.
Really freaking catchy.
What I was trying to find, and I was looking like I don't want to say all day because that would be inaccurate, and I'm nothing if not accurate. Or honest anyway, to a fault. I was trying to find sort of like the whole story behind it. Did he know what he was doing? And we're basically talking about like the one main guy in the band who pretty much did everything.
It was the drummer.
Yeah.
And I believe they were literally on stage playing the cover of one, and so I think they were playing Bird is the Word, and then he just kind of crammed in the Papa Mau Mau and continued on, and it turned into a thing. I don't think it was planned. I think it was just riffing on stage that was like,
well, the Trashmen at the time were a garage band. They were basically they were
a cover band.
Yeah, well, yeah, they were playing for friends and family and small dives and what have you, and that kind of a thing. Yeah, and then they go out to California and, like I said, get exposed to surf rock, which actually kind of it hits them in a big way. They like it. They run with that, and they take it back to Minneapolis, and that makes them a flash in the pan big.
They were good at it.
Except,
go ahead.
They weren't a flash in the pan. They only had this song, but this song has endured for fucking ever.
Okay, so they were a one-hit wonder band, maybe not a flash in the pan then. Because, yeah, I mean, some of the best Family Guy episodes have this in it.
Which, yeah, and I think we'll get to that at some point, why that endures. I think there's a lot of people who are clicking on this, and that's the first thing that they're thinking of, even though
100%.
I think all three of us knew the song well before Peter Griffin made a whole episode on this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so the Family Guy was not the first, not even close. Like it was already a cultural phenomenon in being used in TV decades before that.
Mm-hmm.
So Family Guy clasped onto it and then turned it into a recurring bit, which they like to do, and good on them. It's a fun thing. It's like the knee thing that he does periodically, every few episodes. So the whole Bird is the Word is like, it's iconic Family Guy, and I bet you that there's most of the younger millennials only know this from Family Guy, but it is a recurring theme on the Dr. Demento show long before it was used in Family Guy.
Mm-hmm. Ramones covered it.
Weird Al loves it. I'm surprised Weird Al never did a cover of it.
The Ramones did.
The
Ramones did it. The Cramps did it.
And they're covering this. They're not covering what the Rivingtons did. And I do want to sort of stress that. What I was going to say earlier is I was trying to find a case, and because I hate bringing race into it, but you kind of have to, based on everything that's sort of around. So the Rivingtons were all black. The Trashmen were all white. Now, when they did all this, they did initially put out this with them giving themselves the credit. Now, we know that, hell, I mean, it's still shitty deals today, but the deals back then were awful. So I was trying to find this, and I couldn't find it. And I don't know if the two of you did, and if not, if someone's listening or watching this can put a comment. I would love to know, was it the Rivingtons who actually threatened? I read that it was their manager, but like, were they even involved that much at all? And did the Rivingtons actually see any money from this themselves, the group?
That's what Rivingtons got a few grand out of this, and then they got royalties as well.
So they did.
I was going to say they got full writing credit for it. So
did they give that up?
They got the enduring royalties from the song. I don't know if they were involved in the actual lawsuit or who the money went to in the end, though.
That's what I was trying to find, and I couldn't find any interview with any of them. I was sort of dying to figure that out. I will say though, I mean, like, usually when we see these white covers of black music in that time frame, they usually stink. This does not. This actually kicks ass. I listened to some of their other stuff. Now, I don't think they've got an original thought, but they are a great cover band. That's okay.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I wish I could find.
Did you watch any of the live video of?
I was just going to that. Yeah. I can only find
literally with him like just flapping his arms and strutting around on stage, just
because the label wouldn't spend to send the rest of the band out. He's up on stage lip syncing and chicken dancing.
And just losing his mind. Like,
oh yeah,
obviously just having a great time making a fool of himself.
Which you can't do like if you see him in concert. Oh, I want to see this guy do that. You can't. He's drumming.
It sounds random as shit too, because there's all you guys, everybody heard bird's a word, and it's just it's those 5 different words just smashed together like some kind of a weird pasta salad that your aunt served at the family picnic, and you just pull out some of that, throw it at the wall, see what sticks, and then yell out those lyrics. It's just it seems random, but he's up there hitting every single word on that lip sync.
It's the surf rock. You think Tequila.
Best song to karaoke ever.
Especially if you do it deadpan. You just need to be standing up there and the music's playing and just Tequila. Just totally like deadpan it. And people are like, what the fuck are they doing?
Wow.
Yeah.
Or if you can Pee Wee Herman dance, you can get that on.
Also Pee Wee Herman did this song in.
Really?
Yes, what movie was it?
I know he did.
Was it Pee Wee?
What?
Was it His Big Adventure?
No, it wasn't a Pee Wee Herman movie, but it was him playing Pee Wee Herman. Okay, and there's a bunch of dancers on the beach. Let me see if I can find my thingamadoodle.
Back to the Beach from 1987.
Yes.
I really watched that damn movie. I love how at the end though they just sort of like, we're surfing, but so that way it's about the surf sound.
Well, I mean, there was for several years a pretty good surf rock going on. I mean, like Quentin Tarantino has a big weak spot for surf rock, and it's in a lot of his movies.
Well, one of the ones they cover is Misirlou.
Misirlou is fantastic.
Yeah.
Misirlou is one of the best ones of all surf rock songs out there.
And they do a pretty good job at it. I mean, like, as much as, like, I want to really dump on them for trying to screw over this other band. I mean, like, how much did they have to do with it, and how much did their manager have to do with it? Probably more the manager. than the
Well,
actual.
no, because when they were performing it, they were seen by a radio DJ. The radio DJ convinced them to record it. So I don't know that they had a real big management presence at that time.
They may not even have understood what they did.
It's a group of young, dumb kids that kind of happened on a hit as they were goofing around playing cover songs. That became popular. I don't think there was any malice in an attempt to actually steal it, because it's too obviously just completely ripped off the original. There's no attempt to try to hide or mask anything. I think that they just went, hey, it's popular, woohoo, we wrote it, because in their mind they did, without actually understanding copyright law or anything.
Yeah.
And then potentially also because people were a bunch of racist fucks back then, they figured that since the original authors were black, they didn't matter anyways.
I think that arrow hits a little bit closer.
I'm sure that played a factor. I was trying to find out how much of a factor that played in, and I wasn't able to do so. I think another thing that I find really interesting with this peaked at number 3 or number 4, I don't recall, but the song that went number 1 when this peaked was the Beatles, I Want to Hold Your Hand, first time that they sort of cracked it. So we're hitting that surf sound, the British invasion is starting. This, even though we said how this really stands the test of time, 2 years later, this is not a hit. 2 years earlier, probably not.
No, but it becomes a cult favorite. It's like, did the Rocky Horror Picture Show make more than Star Wars? No, but the Rocky Horror Picture Show has a much more special place in my heart than Star Wars does.
I gotta see that one.
And Star Wars has a pretty special place in your heart.
It has a very large place in my heart, but the Rocky Horror Picture Show is camp, and I love camp.
I hated camp. Oh, we're
not talking about summer camp.
Oh, okay.
Tell me on the doll where the good counselor hurt you.
It was butt stuff. That's why you need a glass eye.
That's only funny to Brad and I. And Andrew. Did we put that on? No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. We were talking about that beforehand.
Okay.
So I don't know that we have a whole lot more to say about this. It
Probably
endured.
Not.
It still endures.
Oh yeah, to this day.
It's a freaking earworm.
Papa Mau Mau.
Even the bird.
Yeah. You just ask anybody. Have you heard about the word?
Oh, the bird is the word.
You get a birdie on the golf course.
Oh,
that's the word.
Flipping the bird.
There's a lot of bird stuff out there.
Yeah, the only thing that didn't sort of last is surfing bird. Beyond that. All right, I guess we should move on to see what we got next week or 2 weeks from now. Because I'm going to
because you're going to be.
I'm going to be in Vegas.
You're going to be going to check out Cher at her live show and then spending a lot of money on the craps table.
Well, the second part might be true. I will not be seeing Cher.
Okay.
Well, no, he's going to see Britney, bitch.
I'm actually going to go see you too.
Nice.
Oh, me? That's sweet of you.
Yes. That's.
So next in 2 weeks, I want both Kirk and Andrea to make eye contact camera here for just a minute. I've noticed you around. I find you very attractive. Would you go to bed with me?
What is that? I know that.
Touch and Go doing Would You?
Yeah.
Okay, the song is called Would You with a question mark, and the band is called Touch and Go.
I don't remember this.
You will recognize it the moment you Google it.
Okay.
It will make you horny. Well, it is a bit horny.
All right. I'm sure I probably do once I
think anything makes you horny, Brad.
No, it's a horny song.
Potato makes you horny.
It's a horny song. It's got some.
Let me put my Shazam on and see if that actually works.
I don't think it's gonna work for that trumpet impression that Brad just did.
Okay. All right, I'm probably going to be upset that because I'm sure I'll exactly.
No,
know
I got
what
nothing.
it is. But speaking of things that make me horny, I cheat on these two with doing other shows.
You whore.
Mm-hmm.
No,
It's polyamory. It's ethical non-monogamy, Kirk.
It's podcastiatomy. No, podcast Manam.
Polypodcastic.
Okay, let's make it simple. Kirk's a slut.
Yes. Well, let me show you.
He's an ethical slut, though.
He's an ethical slut.
Ethical sluts. That's a punk band name.
It's a book name. Read it.
Speaking of books, I wrote one.
What?
Yes, I wrote.
Segue.
Yes, it's called. It's about the late great Chavo Guerrero, the former pro wrestler, now dead. I didn't really say.
You know what holidays are coming up? Halloween.
My birthday.
And you know what, people like to dress up as wrestlers for Halloween. So this could just accompany the wrestling costume.
I got an early birthday card today. So for the 50th birthday, a book about wrestlers is a good book to give anybody.
Also with the foreword by the late, great Roddy Piper. That's pretty good.
Who had the best fight scene in cinema.
He had a fight scene in cinema.
Listen, man, they live as a cultural touchstone.
I love Hot Rod. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I've never seen an actual belly to back suplex in a fight.
They cut a lot of minutes from that fight too.
I'm sure they did. I was such a wrestling fan too when I finally saw that. Like, no, you can't go 50-50 with Keith David. I know he's bigger than you, but you're Roddy Piper, man. 13-year-old Kirk was upset that he almost lost that fight. I'm not going to lie to you. Chavo Guerrero, instant classic, available on Amazon. Again, with forward by Roddy Piper. Also a forward by Bill Watts, which is pretty interesting, I think.
Nice.
Yes. So you can check on that. But if you like more things in the Buchnerverse, there's a show I do with Vinny Lospinuso, my good friend, where he makes the Hall of Fame case for some interesting people. We just recorded one that's going to go up soon on Vern Llewellyn. You remember when you watched Vern Llewellyn play for the Packers?
Oh yeah, I was eating a grilled cheese sandwich and
onions or no onions,
which is amazing because that he played in the late 20s and early 30s, so that's very impressive. But
it was an old grilled cheese sandwich.
Prior life. It's 2 reincarnations ago.
You couldn't have watched it on TV though. But
no, I was there. There was a grilled cheese sandwich vendor.
Sandwiches, get your grilled cheese sandwiches here.
Yeah, how come whenever you like go to those mystical ladies or whatever what they call it, and they say, "Oh, you were a prince in your past life," they never say that you were the goat-faced boy at the fair.
True.
I was not the goat-faced boy at the fair. I was just, some kid watching sports and eating a grilled cheese sandwich. No, I wasn't a kid. I said I was drinking mead. So I was at least a teenager.
Because back then, those grilled cheese sandwiches, they don't make them like that anymore.
They don't do anything like they do anymore.
It was had some nice mutton.
When the mutton is nice and lean.
Off the rails again. It's just the plugging.
True love. There's nothing like true love, except for maybe an MLT, a mutton, lettuce, and tomato, where the mutton is nice and lean. Billy Crystal acted the shit out of the Princess Bride, man.
This show's great.
I'm not a witch. I'm your wife.
You know who else is in that movie? That's Andre the Giant, who was a good friend of
Chavo Guerrero.
Senior.
There's a whole chapter dedicated to their friendship.
Nice.
Yeah, he tells the one story where Andre kept everyone out of the locker room so Chavo could go beat up somebody, pissed him off.
I heard Andre was like just a super nice guy.
Andre, from what Chavo told me, what from other wrestlers have said about him, he was this great guy if he liked you.
Oh yeah.
If he didn't like you,
Who'd want to piss off Andre the Giant?
just sometimes he just well, apparently he hated Randy Savage.
Well,
Randy Savage seems like a dick.
Seems like somebody you could hate, you know?
Macho Man, how dare you?
Who is the Macho Man? Randy Savage. You could hate
You
that
look
guy.
like you're about to have an aneurysm doing
Exactly.
that, right?
You could hate the
Probably
fuck out of
stop
that
it.
guy.
But that's how we actually talked. And the amazing thing about Savage, I don't know if you ever watched a wrestling match in your life, but you know who Macho Man Savage is, and you could do an impression of him.
Okay, dude. I used to be a huge WWF fan back when it was called WWF and it wasn't the World Wildlife Foundation. I was a bit of a Hulkamaniac before the receding hairline got like out of control. I loved the Ultimate Warrior. I was there for the Iron Sheik and the whole 9 yards. So yeah, I mean, Captain Lou Albano, I was shocked when he came on and he was in Cyndi Lauper's music video for Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Okay, I did not know that. Look what I learned.
I used to be a wrestling fan. I did, and I was fucking heartbroken when I found out it was fake.
Last year?
Just like literally almost to the day, man.
Yeah. Well, so there's a show I do with Vinny. There's a show I do weekly with my main partner, Evan Nolan, where we look at it's regular Hall of Fame related news. This week, I'm going to go on a rant about people getting upset that Taylor Swift is dating Travis Kelce.
Who cares? She's going to get some breakup songs out of
care.
it. She's going to get some breakup songs. That's all we need to know.
Well, a lot of people care, and I'm just going to basically say, just make a drinking thing out of it, because that's what I did.
Okay, why do people care? Like I heard something about this, and I just never got deep enough into it.
All right, so
I'm not in the Swiftyverse.
I can answer that in basically like under 1 minute. Football fans care because they don't give a shit about Taylor Swift, and they keep putting it on camera. But the reality is Travis Kelce, and I assuming you don't know who he is, but Travis Kelce is one of the best players in the National Football League.
It's a really good assumption on your part, by the way.
Yes. He will probably be a first ballot Hall of Famer. So he's selling a lot of jerseys already, and also he plays for a team that just won the Super Bowl. Travis Kelce also hosted Saturday Night Live last year.
So you could tell me that Travis Kelce was a football player or a country music star, and I just nod and smile.
But what I'm also going to tell you is that Kelce's jersey sales went up because Kelce obviously selling a lot of jerseys. It went up 4,000%.
Oh, all the Swifties are picking them up?
I have to assume so.
So an example of how ridiculous all of this is, just from a non-Swiftie perspective, there was something that popped up, a picture in my feed that was going on about, Taylor at a box at a whatever the NFL game was, and not a mention of the fact that also framed in the picture was Ryan Reynolds, and Taylor Swift is talking to Blake Lively. So two independently famous people, one who again is my secret husband, but
are you okay with them glossing over him?
No, I'm not. Like, it should have been Taylor Swift in a private box with Ryan Reynolds, but no mention of Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds and also
standing there watching the game while his beautiful wife was talking to Taylor Swift, but no mention of his wife.
And Ryan Reynolds had a sign up that said, "Andrea, call me."
Yeah, unfortunately,
it's tattooed on his abs.
And honestly, I think that Blake Lively could probably kick my ass. So,
well, no, my whole rant is going to be like, football fans, what do you think was going to happen? You're getting a whole brand new bunch of eyes on your product. You're going to do this. They already have you.
Yep.
And apparently 27 million people watched a game between Kansas City and the shitty New York Jets.
Okay, now help me out here, you guys, because I'm kind of curious. Now, let's suddenly assume that both of you are blessed with Taylor Swift level fame. Would you pull a Prince Charles and pick yourself out a good-looking peon, or would you wind up, finding somebody who is at your fame level?
Okay, Jasper is
Jasper's at the
wouldn't say
Fame.
that they're going to go with the peon.
Yeah, no, Jasper's going for somebody at his level.
Yeah, well, actually, no. Jasper used to chase Gemma. The.
Oh yeah, Jasper was a little obsessed with Gemma.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Jasper couldn't catch Gemma because it was a blonde lab, much bigger than him. So
yeah.
so one time he gave it to the lazy black lab, Stanley.
That's one does, man. Any hole is a goal, right?
Well, I mean, Jasper and Opal were regularly entangled.
Right.
Hi, Opal. You cute puppy.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, like, it's Taylor Swift. She can have pretty much anyone she wants, and Travis Kelce can pretty much do the same. But he's going.
But you guys are blessed with like superstar level fame. What are you going to do? Are you going to pick somebody on your level, or are you going to go for somebody?
My answer is I would find
the
person who I've been with for 20 years, because that's the one I've been meant to be with.
We're assuming that you're. Yeah. Paula, your man is a better man than me. Pauline.
Paula.
See, now my answer to that is I'm not going to be looking for some pretty bimbo, but I'm not going to be looking for fame. I'd be looking for the same things I'm looking for now, someone that I actually like.
Well, the emotions and shit. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, my long story short is I'm just gonna be railing on football fans who are upset at that, who just don't understand that the NFL is also a business.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing. You know,
what they're gonna do.
If you go for somebody who is at your level at T Swift, levels, or whatever the hell, dead pig catching man is, you're asking for double the trouble. Because now you got like the paparazzi on both sides, from the sports side and from the music side.
And neither of them are free of the paparazzi, no matter what.
No, 100% not. But I think you're at least, making it worse by inviting both of those sets. Now you got like the diehard catchball fans, or whatever you want to call it. It's not football.
Football.
It's not football. You use your feet twice during the game and your hands for the rest of it. It's handball.
Sissy rugby.
Are you
rugby for pansies? Yeah, 100%. We can call it that.
Both. Andrew, I hate you more. Sissy rugby. How dare you? Oh my God.
I say these things just because I know you hate it.
Oh, you can see the vein in his forehead throb.
Yeah.
Oh, dare you? That's awful.
It's rugby for men who have to wear padding.
Do you see the size of these guys?
Yes, because they're Americans.
They're Samoans.
And some Samoans, yeah.
Couple Canadians mixed in there.
Anyway, do you have any other shows you haven't plugged yet?
Yeah, I got a lot of shows.
Bitch.
I got a lot.
Pimpin' ain't easy.
Yeah, well, I do a show called the Retro Football Review, Real American Football, with my co-host Paul Lawrence, and we look at real football games from the past.
You mean handball, right? Because football is the one that they play with their feet and the ball, and the handball is the one they play with the oblong dead pig and their hands.
Yes, it looks like a dead pig. That's exactly what it looks like.
It's made out of dead pig. Well, it used to be made out of dead pig.
Well, they tried it with a live pig. It didn't work out as well.
You got to use the little pigs.
And I also have
Retro Football Hall of Fame. Continue. Just mute Brad. Like, it will make your life
review. I'm over 50. I don't know. I barely know how to do this.
Should I be little?
I also have my other show, the Classic Sports Review with Glenn Pulowski, the greatest triathlete ever to come out of Buffalo, who's currently defending said title in Antarctica. We've got 4 shows that I've got to edit and put those up soon. So there's a lot of things happening in the Buchnerverse. There was also a great debate that happened between 2 football historians. I had one with 2 baseball historians recently where they debated who they would pick for the United States Athletic Hall of Fame. It is great. All things are pointing. Everything's coming up, Millhouse.
See, baseball
everything's coming up, Buchner.
There you go.
Baseball makes sense. There's bases and the ball.
I'm not having this. I'm not. I didn't name the goddamn thing.
I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying it's poorly named.
Well,
So, on
this
that note,
country, it's football.
If I were to like, promote myself as like a very wealthy and fit man, it'd be about the same. It's false advertising.
I haven't seen your dating profile.
I have said neither of those things about myself because at some point I'm going to have to back them up.
Where would I want to go with that? Where do I want to go with that? No, I'll pass. I'll pass.
Aw, like you would with a handball, nice spiral.
You know it's a spiral, and yet you. Okay, anyway. I think you've been trolling me all this time.
I spent a lot of high school years getting beaten up by football players. You pick up a few things.
Yeah, I did too, actually.
But he has been mostly trolling you. Part of his amusement in all of this is trolling you. You have to know that.
I suppose that's true. I mean, like, much like I always like to point out sometimes were things I got right, like, Trudeau inviting a Nazi to Parliament.
First off, though, Trudeau didn't invite him. The speaker did. The speaker is independent of each party.
It's true. And have you seen the new speaker? I'm not entirely sure it's not a white dude in blackface.
Oh, I haven't seen him yet, but now I haven't
seen that.
It's a black man, but I'm just saying we've all experienced Trudeau's history. So,
well, I mean, I think because of Trudeau's past pictures, Jagmeet Singh, he's the leader of the NDP party. He might have lost a few votes because some people might have been confused.
We should probably end this now.
Yeah, because the Yanks aren't going to get the Canadian stuff.
All right, there you go. Well, with that, wherever you are, wherever you may be, have a great day because, this day ain't going to come again. Later.
Adios.
Bye.